talking to you about so you think you know your partner. Now, what do I mean by that? You might be committed or married to your partner for many years, and I'm saying, so you think you know your partner. Well, I could tell you that there might be a reason to check that out. Check out what I mean by that. We tend to act as if we know our partner. The problem is we're perceiving our partner through several things, but mainly through the lens, our own cognitive lens. So, for example, if I come from a family where I was abandoned a lot, there's a good chance that I will see my partner as someone who has abandoned me or will again or will eventually. Now, maybe that perception is backed up by history. Maybe my partner in our history has let me down, has abandoned me symbolically or really in some kind of way. Maybe it's hurt me real deeply. The thing about it is that we are reborn every minute. We tend to lock in our perceptions not only of ourselves, but our partner. So we do base our perceptions on relationship history, and we may be unconsciously blocking the possibilities of our partner evolving and becoming something better. Maybe someone who won't let us down, even if they have let us down. Now, I am not saying at all that you're responsible for that partner's behavior. As a matter of fact, your partner has his or her own cognitive lens and may be seeing you as someone, let's say, for this example, is really critical because maybe that partner came from a very critical parent or parents and is hypersensitive to any criticism you may have given that person, even if it's just a negative feeling. And so the person maybe experiences that criticism. How does that person react? By pulling back, by detaching, and then you may feel abandoned. And so what I'm trying to say is there's a lot more going on than you are an abandoner, if there's such a word, or you are a criticizer. I think that's a word. And there's more going on. There's oftentimes a lot more going on underneath the automatic perception. And they really have to do with some kind of pain. And oftentimes that pain has come from childhood. There's an old adage that there's an 80-20 rule that 80% of what happens in relationships have something to do with the past and is merely stimulated or triggered by the relationship, the person themselves, what they trigger in us. And maybe the other 20%, which is a very rough estimate, the other 20% is by something that actually is happening. But again, it is happening. But how much of it is colored by our own automatic perceptions? So I would take another look at your partner. I would not trust your first perception, even if it's old perception, even if it's a perception that's backed up by history. Because I say here to you right now, do not base your perception on history. Because history, all history is just a continuation of a pattern of things that we've learned from our past. So what I tell couples to do is have this almost like a co-conceive of growth and evolution together. They go, I know your habit. You have a habit of thinking. I have a habit of thinking. Let's change that habit of thinking. Let's open up to the possibility that you are more than what I think you are, and that I am more than what you think I am. So I encourage people to do two things. One is to get curious about, well, when you do that behavior, when you pull back, for this example I gave, when you act in ways that make me feel abandoned, what's going on with you? What is going on with you? We need to go deeper. We need to get to know our partner in a much deeper way. You're not an abandoner. You are someone who tends to withdraw when you feel hurt. I am not a criticizer. I am someone who criticizes you when I feel all alone because I've been abandoned in life. So what I'm trying to say here is that there are many things that happen in our past that contribute to how we perceive our partner, how we experience the relationship. And the only way to really get to know our partner is A, be tentative with our perceptions and know that they may not be the truth or even at least the whole truth, or maybe it's a superficial truth. And two, be curious about what that truth is. So if I really want to get to know my partner, I need to practice seeing my partner in the best possible light, to attribute motives that are the most benign possible motives, and then treat that person and speak to that person, my partner, in that way. Let's see what comes up for that partner now. Let's see how my partner acts. So, for example, in this example I gave, if I have a criticizer for a partner, instead of going, "Oh, wait," instead of saying you're a criticizer, I go, wait. That person might be having some pain, probably does. And then I say, you just did something that I take as criticism. What's going on with you? What are you feeling? I want to get to know what's going on inside of you. And you invite that up. And if you have that posture and you do that consistently, you will now discover a little bit more about your partner. And there is a more complex, nuanced, deeper way of experiencing your partner. This is hard to do when we have done our automatic perceptual dance that we typically do, and then that leads to more problems, and then we've gotten really hurt. It's really hard to see that person through anything but hurt eyes or through the eyes of the victim. But I encourage you to not do that, to not fall into that trap, to tune into your partner with new eyes, with a fresh look, with a sense that maybe there's more to you than I have ever thought. Even if I've been married to you for decades, you need to open up to possibility. You need to treat your partner like as an experimental subject, I want to say. Treat your partner as someone who maybe is more than you think, and you act and speak accordingly, and then you see what happens. And if you're doing that to your partner and your partner's doing that back to you, you get to develop a deeper relationship. And that's when you actually do what I say, bringing the best out of your partner, evoking the best version of each other. That's how you do it. It starts with not holding on so tight to your perceptions of your partner, and softening, and then opening up to possibility. So I just wanted to mention that to you in a very short discussion, or talk, I should say. And I would take it seriously. And I would do experiments. Realize that our thoughts are just that, and they lock us in. And when we think that thought enough times, it becomes a belief. And then we think it's true. And we forget that we created that belief. Now, maybe we created that belief because of real things that happened to us in our history, childhood history even. It's not our fault. I'm just saying, challenge it. Realize you're more than your thoughts, your partner's more than your perceptions, and let's see what happens. That's it for now. This is Todd Creager, making the world safe for love.